Yes, 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 yes. I know I recently uploaded a penny hunt and fill episode, but it's been tough for me to get other denominations. And since I do have a lot of penny boxes in stock, figured we'd go ahead and continue this series of trying to complete a Dansco Lincoln Penny album through just coin roll hunting. Hey everyone, it's RobFindsTreasure and welcome back to my channel. Like I said in the intro, we have another 2-box penny hunt today, and this is going to be episode 75 and boxes 135 and 136. Before I get into the hunt, I want to make mention that if you're new to my channel or new to the series, I always have a playlist starting at the very first box of this series, listed both down below in the video description as well as pinned up here. Now that we got that covered, I do want to thank Grandpa Tim's Copper Corner for the 3-box trade. Obviously, there's 2 boxes in front of me. We're going to reserve the 3rd box to marry it with one of my boxes for a separate video. That being said, thank you, Grandpa Tim's Copper Corner. I'm looking forward to opening up these sealed boxes to see what kind of copper we get inside, and possibly, can we get a spot filled in this Dansco Lincoln Penny album, because we've been stuck at 196 out of 234 slots filled. I think what we'll do first, we'll slide this book out of the way. Obviously, we'll compare the finds from the boxes to the book to see if we have any upgrades or additions at the end. But in the meantime, we're going to get right to it. Now, I do need to take and get these boxes, at least the first box, opened up. Let me go ahead and do that. And after I got that done, we'll take a quick peek at the top side enders and see if anything's fancy schmancy. All right, we got the first box top taken off, and it looks like we have a few copper cents showing. But it also looks like we have a few more shield cents. We'll have to see when we get in there. You guys know the drill. We've got 100 rolls to hunt. I'm going to start hunting them. And every time I come across something worth mentioning, I'll bring it back in for a look. Hopefully, I see you often in this first box. Roll number 2 will give us our first wheat cent of the hunt. And this one's going to be a 1957 Denver. Same roll, and peeking out is another wheat cent, and it does have that older wheat cent look, and it is a little bit older. 1946 Denver. Roll number 3, wheat cent number 3, 1944 Philadelphia. Well, we are on roll number 6, and I have found a bucket lister variety for myself. Before I show it, I will say that I already have one in stock because I purchased one from a eBay listing, got it graded. It scored an MS62, I think, red. But I have found one from coin roll hunting, and I'm super excited to share it with you. Under the scope, I have a 1984 Lincoln Memorial cent. Now, I had to use a little bit of an angle for the lighting because there's some damage on the coin, unfortunately, which I'll show you. But without a doubt, we have got the doubled ear. You can clearly see both earlobes and both sides or rims of the ear, if you will. Now, this coin has a lot of that copper plating bubbling, unfortunately, but it is most certainly the 1984 and doubled ear. You can hardly see it at that angle, which is kind of surprised me at first, but if I tilt it in the light, you can definitely see the doubled ear. It's a no-doubter. For fun, I'll go ahead and bring up Variety Vista, and that's what you're looking for right here, the doubled ear. Definitely have it. I wish I could see the die scratch markers on the back, but the coin, like I said, is in rough condition. But either way, I know for sure that we have found the variety. And again, there is all kinds of bubbling everywhere. It would have been in pretty nice shape, but yeah, it's got some deterioration because, of course, it's copper-plated zinc, and you can really see it here. At the end of the day, I already have a graded one, so I won't get it graded, but I know for sure it's the doubled ear, and that makes me happy. We'll definitely flip that one up. That's a good find. Wish it was in better condition, but beggars can't be choosers. I have looked through at least 1,000+ penny boxes, and this was on my list to find on my own, and now we have. Holy cow, 84 doubled ear, roll number 6. For those wondering about value of it, I went ahead and brought up the PCGS website to give you guys an idea of what it's worth. Here's the FS 101 84 DDO, and it's ironic that the one that's shown here in MS66 has a lot of that damage as well that mine exhibits. So you know what? Maybe it is one I might submit just to see what it gets. I didn't think that they would give it a clean grade when it has so much environmental damage, but maybe they just assume that since it's a zinc cent that's copper plated, it's common for this kind of thing. But either way, we definitely have one, and you can see it as well. In an MS63 grade, it's worth 120 bucks according to PCGS. Of course, it gets a lot more valuable when it gets up in the higher grades. But at the end of the day, if I spent $40 to get it graded, plus the penny that I paid for it to find it, we'd be in for it for about $40+. And yeah, you know what? Maybe it's worth getting graded. We'll have to see. Plus, it's one I found, not one I purchased. That's a good find. I'll keep you guys informed if I decide to get it graded and put it through another PCGS submission. But in the meantime, now I want to get back to the hunt, see if there's more goodies in this box. Roll number 8, wheat cent number 4 is a 1940 Philadelphia. Roll number 14 will give us wheat cent number 5, and that's going to be a 1957 Denver again. Roll 17, wheat cent number 6, a 1958 Denver. Roll 18, wheat cent number 7, a 1950 Denver. Same roll, wheat cent 8, another 1957 Denver. Thought it might be a 52D. Roll number 19, and we already have 9 wheat cents. The 9th wheat cent is a 44 Denver, so we'll just take a peek for that 44D over S, which I don't see, but one more, and we'll have double digits early in the first box. We're on roll 21, and we're going to have our 10th wheat cent, and it does look a little slick, but it's just a 52 Denver. Roll number 22, wheat cent number 11, and that's going to be another 1946 Denver. We're on roll number 30, and we have a dozen wheat cents now, and this one's a 1957, but Philadelphia. We're on roll 31, and we finally have our first Canadian coin, and it's going to be an ender, the 1986 Canadian cent. I won't show it out of the roll, but if I find something else in the roll, I'll bring it back. I'm back because we had a wheat cent in that roll, wheat cent 13, and it's a 30s, but it's not one we need. A nice looking 1937 Philadelphia, oldest wheat cent of the box. We're on roll number 44, and it made us work for that 14th wheat cent, but we do have it. It's going to be a 1942 Philadelphia. Roll number 46 will give us wheat cent 15, and I already saw it. It's a 1941 Philly. So we'll just check it for any of the doubling that could be on it, and I don't see it. All right, we'll take it though. First from that year, 1941 Philly for wheat cent number 15. Well, we finished that first box from Iowa, and it was a great box. 15 wheat cents on the board. The oldest was a 1937 Philly, which we don't need. We did have a handful in the 40s and 50s, of course. Nothing fantastic as far as wheat cents, but still a lot of them, and that makes me happy. I also pulled aside a pretty cool-toned 1963 cent. I don't know if I'll keep it, but I wanted to show it off because it is kind of cool as far as the rainbow toning. You saw we got that 1984 Philadelphia DDO FS 101, and yeah, after close scrutiny, it does look like a pretty nice cent, although it does have a lot of that copper plating bubbling, if you will, so we'll have to see how that does. Speaking of copper, 4 pounds, 5 ounces in that box, so we'll have to dump that and make a fresh cup for the second box. We actually ended up with 3 Canadians, although they didn't show up until late. We got 7 1959s, 2 pretty nice 1973s. One's a Denver, but one's a San Francisco, and I don't see a lot of nice San Fran cents, so we might have to take a look at that against the book. And then speaking of San Fran, 2 1969 S's, neither of which were the DDOs. Let me go ahead and clear away the discards. I'll center this box. We'll do a live opening on it next. All right, box number 2 of the hunt. Hopefully we can do this with all the tape, but wanted to show you that it was still sealed at least. All right, here we go. Looks like a lot more copper to me. All right, let's go ahead and get the hunt going. We're at 15 wheat cents to start. And of course, we'll be back with our first find. Roll number 57 out of 100. We have our 16th wheat cent. First from 1955, and it's from Denver. Roll number 60, wheat cent number 17. A 44, Philadelphia. We're on roll number 66, and I have a cent I don't find too often in my hunts. We've got a proof. Slide him down, and I see that we have a 1991 S proof cent. Pretty nice shape for being circulated. Again, I don't see them too often, so it's always nice when I do find them, and we did find one. Put it on the board and get back to the hunt. Roll 67, we're going to have our 18th wheat cent, and it looks pretty nice by the reverse. And it's just the last year 58D, but I always take a nice looking wheat cent in the boxes. Roll number 69, wheat cent number 19. A 1940 Denver. Good seeing an older wheat cent with the mint mark, but we still can't find many from the 30s. Roll number 75 is going to have a couple of finds. I saw a dime by the edge, so I figured I'd grab that one out. And it's going to be a 2010 Denver, I believe. We'll take that, made 9 cents. But I also spotted a wheat cent when I flattened them out, and that's going to be wheat cent number 20. And it's a 51 Denver. Well, we're on roll number 92 out of 100, and the second half of this box has been really cold for wheat cents, although it's still been pretty good for copper. That being said, we have now found our 21st wheat cent of the hunt, and this one's going to be a 1946 Philadelphia. Roll number 93. Wheat cent number 22 is going to be another 40s with a mint mark. 1941 Denver. We'll take it. Can we get a few more? Roll number 96. Wheat cent number 23. And that's a 57 Denver. Yet again. Well, we finished that second box of these Iowa State penny boxes. Thanks again, Grandpa Tim's Copper Corner, for the trade. They were a lot of fun. Obviously, the second box is a little bit slower than the first box. We have 23 wheat cents on the board, 15 in box 1, only 8 in box 2. We did get one from the 30s. We got that dime. We got the proof. We got the 84 double deer, which I'll take. We ended up with 6 Canadian cents. One's a laureate portrait from 1961. We got 12 59s, some nice bright and shinies, and 3 69S's, none of which were the DDO, of course. And on top of all that, we did pretty good on the copper again, although this one really slowed down the second half of the box, both in wheat cents and in copper. Still 3 pounds, 13 ounces more. And when we add the 2 boxes together, we got just over 8 pounds of copper, and I'll take that all day in a 2-box hunt. I guess the only thing left to do, even though I don't think we're going to have any additions, of course, is to take a look at the finds, compare them to the book, see if we have any upgrades, and bring you guys back in with a final look at the book and some final thoughts. Give me just a second, and I'll be right back. Well, that's unfortunate. It was such a fun hunt. It's a shame we didn't get any upgrades or additions for the album yet again, but we did get an addition for the collection, a 1984 Double Deer DDO FS 101. And for those wondering, I think I'm going to go ahead and submit it with my next submission, just because it'd be fun to see what mine grades, despite the condition, since I did find it. And if it happens to upgrade the one I have, then I'll have mine versus the one that I purchased. We'll have to keep you informed of that once I have it submitted and I get the grade back. At the end of the day, though, we're stuck again at 196 out of 234 cents, slotted through now 136 boxes. And I'm telling you, we got to find some oldies soon. Otherwise, we might be at a stalemate for this book, and I'm hoping to get it above 200 cents found and slotted before I throw in the towel. Now, throwing in the towel does not mean I'm going to stop doing these types of hunts. It just means I might start a new book and see if we can get further along with less boxes. Either way, I do want to thank, yet again, Grandpa Tim's Copper Corner for the trade. We got all we could get out of the 2 boxes. 23 wheat cents is not a bad number, almost 12 per box average. Hopefully, despite the lack of additions and upgrades, again, you guys still enjoyed this penny hunt and fill episode. If you did, I'd appreciate that thumbs up. And as always, everyone, happy hunting, and thanks for watching.